Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you have a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today we are going to be testing out Aatrox for a ranking on our upcoming tier list. Now this is just a preliminary ranking. Things might change later, but just wanted to be able to play him and kind of see how we're feeling on him. So let's go ahead and break down his constellation. So when equipped ally strikes, reduce the cost of a random card in hand by 2. So obviously you want to have as many of your units equipped as possible. Same with armed to the teeth right here. Allies with equipment or attachments have 2/2. So again, more reason to try to have all of your units equipped if possible. Right here, game start, create in hand 2 random darken equipment. So great that you can just immediately get that going. 5-star, mana flow, and then the 6-star, when you summon or transform a Darkin, double its stats. So just when you're actually able to get the Darkin on the board, they are absolutely massive. Now, as far as the relic build we're going with, my favorite for Aatrox is this right here. So Beast Within, allies have Overwhelm if they have a subtype 1/1. A lot of our units are able to get that subtype, but then the big thing here is that Overwhelm, very good for consistency. Star Forge, just getting extra mana. With Aatrox, you can be a little bit mana starved, so trying to make sure you have enough mana to play your units and then equip them can be very important. And then the Luminous Orb, just to make sure he hits the 8 health needed to get that Star Forge gauntlets rolling. So we're going to grab Aatrox here, and I think we're going to try him into this adventure because I think he's going to relatively struggle in it. We really are wanting to push champions to their limits to see where their weaknesses are, so we can really consider that for the tier list. So here we have Perfected Mana Flow. The foe gets a mana gem every round. So they're going to be outpacing us as far as mana, which can be pretty rough. And then Cage Match, these games are going to go on longer. So if we're not able to get ahead, we could really struggle here. But let's go ahead and try this out. First power here, let's see what we're able to get. So your spells cost 1 less, hold them off, or nothing but powder monkeys. Or unit at the start of the game or every round's not bad. Spellslinger also can be pretty good, but I think we'll go for hold them off, can be a solid defensive. And then for some of our effects where we're able to have one of our units and enemy units strike each other, if they don't have any power, it's just a free kill pretty much. So yeah, I think we'll grab this one and let's go for Swole Squirrel. Not too bad. I think we will get rid of Aatrox. For one, we know we're going to draw him, and then we have other things like the Discord that can give us more copies of him. Alright, so let's try to drop this right here. And let's go ahead and play this. Let's go for the Violent Discord. That way we can get more copies of our champion, but then also more units right here. And then let's play this one. We want to get as many units on the board and equipped as soon as possible. We could go for another Violent Discord and then go for a Darkened Spear. Sure, I think let's try to do that right here. Alright, so we'll be able to have that one, kill that one right there. So yeah, we have 3 units able to get strikes off. This is very good for us because then that's giving us a lot of cost reduction in hand. Now we can drop this guy right here. And then we can go for our Aatrox next round. And I think we can go for the Deathbringer Sweep. Although the one issue is we're not going to be able to play the next copy of it. But still, I think we'll go for it since it's going to be kind of a free kill on that unit right there. And then let's go ahead and attack. And yeah, we can't quite end actually. So let's just attack with all these units right here. But we're now in a pretty awesome situation or place. Let's go ahead and equip this guy and then go for our World Ender. So right now, pretty much there shouldn't be anything the enemy can do to stop us. Now we have all of these absolutely massive units. Sure, we can go for Furious Wielder right here. With Aatrox, if you can get ahead, then he can do pretty well staying ahead and can feel pretty busted. Sure, let's drop the Keeper so we can get that lifesteal going. But if you fall behind, you can really struggle. Alright, GG. Swiftwing, 4 cost, Farsight, drop me if I'm not in your hand. Our hand can be a little bit crowded early, although I guess we don't want to go for either of these really, so sure, I suppose. Let's go for a support champion, see what we can get. Nora, Lissandra, Vhagar. Capture, I don't really want to deal with landmarks crowding up our board. Also with these Iceborne gauntlets, it shows 2, but normally it's just going to have 1. That is something that can be bugged, and hopefully they get fixed. But she does have a lot of cheap units, and with those portals can give us more cheap units. Sure, I feel like that could be okay. Stargazer, yeah, let's go there. So we have Crown Guard. Let's get rid of the Portal Palooza, but I think we can hold on to the rest. See, now in game, she only has the 1. We could play her right away and just immediately get rid of that unit, which wouldn't be too bad. Sure. So let's go ahead and just attack with Nora, get some good damage down, and all right, cost reduction right there. We're kind of hoping it was going to hit some of our equipment. All right, let's... Actually, this one gives us tough, and that one's going to get tough anyways. Let's maybe drop this right here. I think let's go for Nora and kill that unit. All right, we were hoping it was going to hit either our Aegis or Swiftwing. Not quite. All right, but they didn't want to attack. Nice. All right, let's go for our Aatrox. Also, that unit got an equipment. That auto-equip was actually pretty great. 2 units right here. I think let's go for the Swiftwing with that Challenger. All right, so we have almost an entire board. Everyone is equipped. That's pretty awesome. I think we will try with the Hookmaster, but they're very likely to just block with their Warden, but it's fine. Or just not block at all. They do that sometimes as well. All right, I think let's drag this one aside just so other people don't have to deal with it. But pretty good. So we don't have any other equipment as far as Darken equipment. Actually, you know what? I think we'll wait for World Ender. Let's equip Nora with this right here. That way she's going to get rid of her Darken equipment.
Well, aren't you the cutest thingamagy I ever did see?
And then we can give someone else that Darken equipment. Sure, let's drop this right here for now. And now we can go for World Ender. And sure, let's just get some strikes off here and start killing a lot of their units. It is nice to be a bit of passive sustain we can get with Aatrox. The 6-star is very handy because normally Aatrox is so big, pretty much nothing can stand up to him. And so with his strikes, he can just start absolutely annihilating. But yeah, we are fine. And this is the round we should be able to end. Yep. Let's go ahead and attack. GG. Ooh, actually, both of these are good. Being able to drop units right away can be nice, but getting some copies of this, making it, yeah, free, that do kind of like that. Let's go for the Stargazer. When an ally is targeted or supported granted spirit, we play non-fleeting spell skill, make it twin disciplines. The first time you would spell mana or spend mana on a spell, refill spell mana equal to its cost. That's not bad. Like, it is the reduced down version, but that is pretty good. We have 4 rerolls. It would be fun to get something a little bit stronger, but sure. Most of our spells aren't costing over 3 anyways, so they're not really need to refill more. And if we were someone that had like 7 rerolls, we maybe do it, but Aatrox doesn't have too many. Let's go for the Intrepid Mariner. Let's... Yeah, I think get rid of the Portal Palooza. I like a lot of these, but we could use to have some units. I think we will try to pass, just because I believe they have a lot of removal spells. Alright, let's drop our Nora. Oof, 4 damage. That is... Yeah, why we were trying to wait. Alright, not really too much we can do there. Let's drop the Elkin. It's such an annoying effect. Let's go for that right there. This is kind of one of the things that's kind of rough for... We could drop Nora already, but she'll need to have an equipment. Aatrox, you are so unit focused that if the enemy can take out your units, especially early before they can start scaling up or getting equipped, you can have a pretty hard time. I think let's drop the Elkin, because I think they could have removal, so I don't want to drop a softer, squishy target. Let's drop this one right here. Let's play this, we get some extra units. And sure, we can drop this right here. Okay, pretty good. Here, I think let's try to go for our Aatrox. We could really use some equipment. I think let's play this one right here. Could go for the elusive. Yeah, we should probably... I was like, we should probably have an elusive, although Aatrox can block elusives. Let's maybe just go for the spell shield for a little bit of extra protection. Alright, let's go ahead and attack like this. Although, they still do have a unit that could kill this Elkin. So I think we'll let that one sit back. It's not like we need to push for too much extra damage. Alright, let's go for the Forsaken Bakai. We could play World Ender already, but I think let's actually just get some strikes off here. Because all these strikes will give us some cost reduction towards it anyways. Sure, we can get that one while it's a little bit reduced. Alright, looks like we're still going to be able to play our World Ender as well, which is fantastic. We can just keep on going. I suppose we could wait to heal up our Nexus after it's going to get hit right there. Alright, let's... Ooh. Let's go for the Blooming Cultist. Oh, right. Let's drop... Oh, we forgot to equip it. Oh, I actually don't know if we have an equipment anymore. Yeah, it's so annoying, that effect. Alright, so this is round 5. So we are able to end. GG. I will say for Aatrox, he is on the slower side. So normally the fastest we could end is like our second attack. But even then, that's not too consistent. So for a 6-star, he is a bit slower. Draconic Bonds isn't bad because it would give us a ton of stats. But we want our equipment to be Darken. I think we'll still grab it, but yeah, not the greatest. Let's go for the shop, see if we can get a decent power here. Heal an ally Nexus, draw 1. Some extra draw can be okay. Kane is fine. When you play a slow spell, copy it with the same targets. I don't think we have too many slow spells. Like, there's the one Aatrox has, but that one going off twice doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't think this was actually really going to help us. Let's try a reroll. When you play a spell, grant a random ally in hand 1/1. Again, we don't play that many spells, but sure, I guess. That is a lot of gold to spend right there, but having some extra draw can be nice. All right, let's go ahead and go for healer. We're at max health. Is there something we really just don't, or we really want to cut that we're never going to use? I feel like Portal Palooza is a bit too expensive for us. Like, it could get cost reduced down, but still, it's a little much. Let's go for Howling Abyss. I think let's maybe try to get this later. And same with the Blue Wind Cultist. This is also another issue with Aatrox, is sometimes you just don't draw any units. Now here we did draw some units, but sometimes it's like you don't have anything to play. I think let's pass because I think they have some pretty annoying removal. All right, at 2 mana they could pass back, which we really don't want to deal with. This does have Challenger, which is nice, although whatever they play, potentially just going to kill us. And yeah, we need to have mana for equipping some units. All right, let's drop that one there, and let's equip this one. Probably both of our units are just going to straight up die. We could try to keep this one back so that we can get a blocker for next round. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just play this right here. Alrighty, and he has Overwhelm and Quick Attack, so we're probably not blocking him regardless. I suppose let's go for Swift Wing. That'll be good. Well, at least we're not taking that much damage. That was kind of a free unit anyways. Let's drop this one right here. We could go for Aatrox already, but I think I want to just get more summoned units on the board, and they have so much mana to play with. Each round, the first time you slay a unit. So if we kill our own unit, it shouldn't really matter. This has Challenger. Okay, so let's kill this unit to equip this one right here. Oof, that's not great, especially since we could have killed her. But now with that regen, that is a bit rough. Let's play this one right here because that'll be kind of a sacrificial unit. Although they have 2 regen units. At least we'll be able to kill Jax. We can bring that one aside. I mean, this one doesn't really matter if he blocks or not. This is kind of the worst target anyways. They don't have enough to protect Jack, so that's good at least.
Just a moment. We're no more.
Alright, I wish we could play this one again. Let's go ahead and drop this right here. All right, let's go ahead and drop our Aatrox, see if we can get him big enough to get some strikes going here. At least we can block elusives. Oh, I'm glad we are able to stop that, because otherwise that would be very bad. Seems like they're actually not that willing to attack, which is interesting. I think we'll go for World Ender. I'd like to normally get, well, try to play more units with like Violent Discord and get more units to get transformed, but we kind of just need to be big enough to block. And so this will help with that.
I find them worthy. And this.
All right, so we can go right here. Oh, I guess he has spell shield and yeah, he has spell shield and also barrier. They shouldn't have anything to sabotage this.
Nothing really stays the same.
Yeah, luckily our units are so massive that even against Howling Abyss, that normally has absolutely massive units, it's actually not too bad. I think let's drop him right here.
Easy, Captain. Your peace is at hand. My great time.
So even though these units aren't transformed, they are still pretty massive.
There's no place for cowards.
All right. I guess we could just let this person attack as well. That's not great, but yeah, still we have enough damage. GG. He's already going to get regen. Challenger should be nice, because I think that's one that we're not going to get by default. Strike, draw one. Aatrox is interesting. Sometimes we have too many cards in hand. Other times we're kind of a little bit starved. I think we'll just go for Challenger. I think the extra draw would be probably a little bit too much, especially considering how much we can actually strike. Both parties get to manage him. That's a little funny. It would probably be fine, because quite often they're overcapped on mana as it is, or they will get that point faster. But yeah, they're going to get this plus their other one. When we summon a create ally granted 1/1, that can be okay. I think we will try to go for this. And let's go for the epic champion item. So Bright Steel, that barrier is probably going to be really annoying. Let's get rid of these two. We could wait for them to play something. Yeah, let's try to pass.
Where you go, I go.
I'm not really a fan of a lot of this equipment. I guess we'll go for this right here. It will be a ton of stats, so at least there's that. And yeah, we can go for the Violent Discord. Although, let's attack like this. And yeah, I figured they'd do that. So let's use this just to get rid of that unit. Because these first blades can be so annoying. And now we can actually get some more equipment going.
I've got your back.
Alright, dropping Aatrox already doesn't seem too bad. So let's, yeah, work on getting some kills here. With the mana refill, will actually be not too bad. Just keep killing.
Smell that? A bite's a cooking.
You're covered.
I mean, that is a lot of barrier. Let's, sure, do this right here. We're hoping to get some more equipment, especially Darken equipment. Suppose let's drop that one. And yeah, we can pass for now. We can just get some more strikes. We're not in a rush. Okay, that's fine. Like, you just get rid of your own barrier. Let's, yeah, go ahead and drop that right there. I think we'll use this heal. All right, great. Another equipment. We want as many people to be equipped as possible before we transform everyone.
Eyes bigger.
My duty's done.
And sure, let's drop this one right here. And then this will be an absolutely massive board. I don't even think we can end yet. I think this is just our second attack. Yep. But this is actually very good. Normally with Aatrox, we've been struggling to have enough power to end turn 2. Or not turn 2, but with our second attack. And now we just sit and wait 1 round, and then we'll be good. Anything they play will just immediately kill. Yeah, having a 40-40 Aatrox is pretty awesome. Alright, GG. Sure, we can go for the Ritual of Renewal. That's not too bad. And Epic, double attack, power riff, free attack. If we wanted to push more damage, I would go for the double attack, but normally we're not actually missing out on damage, especially since we can't end until turn 5 anyways. It would give us 2 strikes, which is good, but I think we'll go for the power riff. Just getting him on the board earlier is normally going to be such an advantage. Let's see what we can get for a shop here. Don't really care about most of these. Like, getting a cheap unit for Farsight's not bad, but I think we're fine. Titanic Wake, when you summon a unit, I don't know if transforms really count as summons. I think they technically don't, but this would at least work for our Aatrox. Potentially would work for some other people, but at least for him. So yeah, we'll grab it here. Champion item, perfect. Let's go for Cythria. Let's get rid of both of these. I think let's open with this guy. We already have an Aatrox, so that's, yeah, the Darkened Staff's not bad.
Actually here. My journey continues. New recruit reporting in.
I think let's drop both of these. Oof. We wanted to kill them. That's rude. All right, let's attack right here.
I'm ready.
That Cythria is going to get pretty big. Yeah, let's damage it right here. Ooh, our 1-cost Aatrox, so close. But let's kill this unit. And yeah, we can equip that one. Almost able to play Aatrox.
Soldiers to me.
That'll be a little scary. I think we will drop Aatrox, even though we don't have a lot of cost reduction for him. We could just really use a very big unit right now.
Follow my lead.
You are nothing.
He'll be at 6, but they only have 1 mana, so they shouldn't have enough mana. Like, their single combat should have been 2 mana, right? Yeah. So yeah, there shouldn't be anything they can do to stop this, even though we are a little bit risky there. And then we can let him strike this unit since they won't be able to strike back.
I've come so far.
Yeah, I do like the Silverwing Vanguard. He is actually strong enough to take on another one as well. Let's drop the Protoporo. Equip that person right there. We are out of equipment. Let's go ahead and drop our World Ender. And still can't quite end because, yeah, it's not turn 5 yet. But now we're just able to sit pretty and annihilate all their units. We want to drop a Nora. I mean, I suppose it's better than their other elusive units, so sure.
The portal. Ready to do my part.
This is such a good champion spell, especially when you are ahead like this. You just have a lot of mana. Oh my word, they're just gonna keep going. Very well.
My story ends. Off we go.
Alright, GG. Ooh. This isn't too bad because by getting this, not only get the studded leather, it also gets the phage. So if this is one of the cards we generate, it can be pretty good. Also, I think Emperor's Favor, since it would go off twice, would flood our board or hand a little bit too much. Yeah, I think this can be pretty good. Go here for champion item, double attack or fury. Again, we don't really need the extra damage. Deathless is nice, but the fury can be pretty good for scaling. What do we want to cut? I think we will cut this. We want to use our Darken equipment. And then let's go for Elise. Yeah, just get rid of that one. We'd like to have some cheaper units. But I want to at least hold on to something, because sometimes, yeah, you can just not draw anything. Let's actually pass, because let's try to pass one more time. Okay, I hope that they don't have a Vengeance they can play. I know some people like Fiddlesticks can have a 3-cost Vengeance. I hope Elise doesn't have that.
Bind them.
Alright, that's a little rude. Let's go ahead and play this right here. Okay, yeah, a little bit too many. But let's play this. And perfect. I'm gonna try to get some of this out of hand. Alright, turn 1, 3 units with one of them being Aatrox. Pretty good. Pretty good. We have 9 cards. I think let's just start getting some strikes going. Let's try to kill that one. Take us down to 25, which still should be fine. This does just constantly give us cost reduction, which is pretty nice. All right, all of our units are staying alive. Let's go ahead and kill this one. All right, this is going pretty fantastic. So our Aatrox is getting pretty low, but able to kill all of Elise's units this fast is pretty incredible. And we could already go for World Ender. Sure, we do have all of our Darken equipment used up. All right, let's go ahead and attack. And yep, we are hitting the point where we would have been able to end if this was a normal match. So earlier on, Aatrox was struggling to be able to end on the second attack, but now later in the adventure, we are hitting that pretty reliably. Yeah, he can just keep playing things. Aatrox can just keep getting kills. It is so strong later in the game when you have all this mana and Aatrox has so much health. You know, play one card and then get 3 cards out of it. So strong. I think let's play this right here just for the bit of draw. Oh, I guess we are going to give them some units, but that kind of doesn't matter. We're hoping to get another copy of our Aatrox, but to play me kill an ally, yeah, that's fine. We have an ally we don't care about. Alright, GG. Aatrox was doing, or able to do all right there. I was worried that they might be able to steamroll him with getting the mana flow, and then the other modifier, the cage match, kind of didn't matter, because especially for like the entire first half of the adventure, most of those fights we wouldn't be able to end before turn 5 anyways. Aatrox is a bit on the slower side. Like by the end of the encounter, you can now reliably start ending on like your second attack, but a lot of other champions, that's like where they start reliably being able to end there, and then potentially in the second half of the adventure they now can end like turn 1. So he is definitely slower than a lot of other champions. And then you do kind of struggle with consistency a little bit more because you're very unit focused, but where some other champions are focused on their units, at least when they play their units, they're either a lot stronger or they actually have a really strong play effect. So I'm thinking of this in relation to the last 2 champions we kind of looked at, being Elder Dragon and Kayle. So for Kayle, when she drops her units, normally they're massive, so the enemy has a hard time getting them off the board unless they have like a hard kill spell or something like that. But then also when you drop your units, they are doing damage to the entire enemy board, so either they do get rid of the unit, it already gave you a lot of value. With Elder Dragon, when he drops his units, normally it's a 6+ cost unit, so it's getting those Dragon Souls. The unit's going to be a lot bigger, way harder for the enemy to remove, and then even the Dragon Souls going off is giving you some cost reduction for your Elder Dragon. For Aatrox though, you play your unit is incredibly weak, and then you have to wait another turn until you actually equip them. So it gives the enemies a much broader window to actually be able to punish you and kill your unit, because they only get all their stats once they actually are equipped. And even with that equipment, they're still normally smaller than many other champions' units, such as like Elder Dragon or Kayle. So while I think Aatrox is fun and definitely still very strong, compared to a lot of the other 6 stars, I do think he is actually on the weaker side. So I think I'm actually going to end up putting him in the C tier. Honestly, he does kind of feel more like a B tier, but I think there's going to be so many strong champions, he is going to pretty much certainly get kicked down to the C tier. Because while he can pretty reliably kill or defeat everything in the game, he does have much broader weaknesses than most other champions, and is definitely slower than a lot of champions. That being said, I think a lot of people actually would really have fun playing Aatrox, because actually having a champion with more weaknesses can be more engaging than having some champions potentially in the S tier that just face roll everything. So even though I am putting him down here, do you think he actually is going to be more fun than potentially a lot of the champions that actually end up being above him? Again, though, this is just a preliminary ranking. We'll see how things shake up when we add in a bunch more champions. Also, to everyone that showed up to help me with the rankings on stream, thank you. This is recorded before I'm actually doing that, but I appreciate you stopping by, so thank you. Also, thank you for watching the video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.